Hello, beautiful people. So, today I wanted to talk about confidence being your best asset. And I feel like this topic is inspired by something that had happened. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember exactly. And I was in a rush. Was it yesterday? I'm not sure. I was in a rush and I had to go to work. So, before that, I wanted to go grab food quickly at the supermarket. And this day, it happened to be that I didn't have my earbuds in and they weren't charged because every day I always put on my earbuds because I live in a city and it's very noisy and loud. So I kind of like to just be in my own world. And I was walking quickly and I walk past these two girls and then I hear them say, "She thinks she's all that." Oh no, she thinks she the shit. That's what they said. And it got me thinking about confidence because it's something that I get told that I'm confident. Um, and I think it's something that I want more people to feel. And I'm not saying this to say that I feel confident every single day. That's not the case. But for the most part, you kind of have to fake it till you make it with most things in life. And think about men in suits that give you a presentation. What is one thing that they all usually have in common? It's confidence. They put on that suit and it kind of gives them this it gives this illusion that they have a big status, men in a suit, and they're convincing us that they have power, they have status. But I think what is also making us so convinced about their power and about their status is that they have confidence. When people try to sell something to you, usually you're more convinced when they are confident in themselves and when they present themselves in a confident manner. And of course, your presentation also matters. But I think the most important thing is to be confident. So, this is my key giveaway to you. Whenever you have a job interview, be confident. Whenever you want to go somewhere new, be confident because oftentimes we're a bit fearful about trying out new things. And I know we've all been there, I've been there. But I think when you're confident and you have this trust in yourself, because I feel like confidence in a nutshell is trusting yourself with the things that you want to do and the things that you want to achieve. You trust yourself that you're going to be successful in this, or maybe not. I think also confidence is not just thinking that everything will succeed automatically, because obviously it needs time, but I think it is also important to have a positive mindset and that you will succeed in what you want to achieve. And that's where confidence plays a role. You believe in yourself and you believe that no matter what, I will achieve this. No matter what, I'm going to be fine, whether I succeed or whether I fail. But I'm going to go back to what had happened with those two girls because it's nothing that I want to take personal because I really believe in not taking things personal. And I also feel like that has a lot to do with being confident and feeling confident in your skin and in yourself and in your beliefs and the things that you want to achieve. And I don't feel like being confident is means that you look at others as less than you. That's not what confident means. And confident also does not mean I compare myself to others constantly. It means that for me, what confident means, it means that you have trust in yourself and trying new things and believing in yourself and really putting yourself out there. That's what I feel like being confident is. And it is in the way you talk, in the way you speak to others as well, but in the way you think about yourself, but also how you think about others. Because I do also believe that thinking positively and having, also a realistic mindset about other people is important, but I also believe in the good of people and also the bad. So I think being realistic overall, trusting yourself is important. And I'm going to tell you, confidence is the best asset that you can wear when you go outside because it also reminds me of I'm kind of rambling around with a lot of things because I have a lot in my head right now. Um, and it also reminds me of interviews with these big supermodels, and they would get interviewed, or actresses as well, and they would ask them about, how they feel about themselves, and they would describe things that one could consider being insecure and not necessarily confident. And then it makes you think, it's not just a physical thing. Confidence is a lot more internal than you can ever imagine. Of course, having a great presentation, taking care of yourself, and grooming yourself plays a role, but in the end, it is all internal. So it takes time to become confident. Um, it takes a lot of effort as well. For some more, for some less. But it is really constantly putting yourself out there with the things that you fear and the things that you aspire to become. And you constantly have to put in the effort to get there. And I don't think there is a final destination. I think it's a journey that we all go through, young and old. One day you might feel confident, a whole month you might feel confident, and then the next month you feel less confident. Because obviously external factors play a role in how we feel as humans. That's something that's inevitable. You have family, you have friends, you have coworkers, you have life in general, you have the news, politics, economy, everything plays a role. But I think really trusting yourself, regardless of all those external factors, because sometimes you really have to, well, I'd say every time you have to look internally, what do I want to feel and who do I want to become, and kind of forget everything that's external, and that will be the second place. So I really believe that being confident is something that I would advise everyone to pursue, and to really look at yourself when you, for example, envy someone about, I don't know, maybe their job or maybe their relationship. I'm just naming randoms. What is it? Why do I envy this person? Why do I envy this or that? And really look internally and try to work on the things that you want to become. Because I also feel like becoming that confident version of yourself means that you have to look internally of what you really want in life and what you desire. Confidence has a lot to do with your desires, because when you look at confident people, I feel like they have one thing in common, is that what I think is that they have their desires kind of mapped out, and maybe they're not all achieved, but for the most part, their desires are something that they work towards or that they already have. And that's what also brings them that confidence. Because obviously, confidence is brought through achievements, not just internal. I've mentioned about it being internal, but I also do feel like it's kind of a combination of both. It's something physical, it's something of your achievements, it's something internal, it's a combination of everything. Because I'm not going to lie and sit here that it's just all internal. For the most part, it is. But then again, we have our society and we have societal expectations, and that also helps us to build that confidence. And when you achieve something or you become successful in it, it helps to become that confident version of yourself. So, yeah, I think it's a combination of everything. But I really want to premise this video by saying that start working on your confidence and you will really feel like a better version of yourself. And I also think eventually happier, because that comment that those girls said, I didn't take it personal. Um, Maybe it was obviously a personal comment towards me, but the fact that I was in a rush and I was walking my walk, and they felt the need to make that comment, that's something that they have to work on. And I'm not saying that people cannot have opinions about other people, but I feel like sometimes there's a difference between having an opinion and being hateful towards someone else. And I'm sure like that's really just a bare minimum. It's not a comment that can kill someone, right? It's very somewhat innocent because I think that they were also younger than me. Um, but yeah, I think it also really has to do with someone's confidence, because when someone is confident, um, if they look at other people and their achievements, they don't necessarily see it as competition. They often see it as inspiring and something that they might want to have, or perhaps that they don't want to have, because being confident is also accepting the fact that some people might have other things that are good for them, but that's not necessarily good for you. That's also something that comes into play, because not every good thing that someone has is meant for you. That's why you're you, and that's why you're yourself. So, yeah, I think this is the message that I wanted to say overall, to just be confident. And I know it's easier said than done. Just be confident. It takes a lot of work. It's kind of like a war that you go to every single day. And I don't want to say war because war is not a good word. So I'm gonna cut that out. Um, but it's a journey. I think that's a more beautiful word. It's a journey that you have to go through with yourself every single day, and you have to work towards. And it takes a lot of maybe writing, a lot of meditation, a lot of walking, a lot of looking at yourself in the mirror and really figuring out what you want to be and what you want to do and who do you want to become. It takes a lot of that. And I think it's a beautiful journey that we are going through constantly every single day. And that's the beauty of life, that we get to experience things. And yeah, I just want to say, have a lovely day and stay beautiful.